Well, since the next thing I'll be doing is, I guess, put this thing up for sale, the next thing I'll be doing with this is to give it a really good cleaning, because you want to put your best foot forward. But also I don't deal in bullshit, so I don't want to ship it or receive it. I want to make sure that you have a pretty confident idea of everything on this vehicle, just so there's no questions. I don't want anyone wasting their time or my time on this. So this is the condition the vehicle's in normally. This is just, you know, I pulled it into my driveway after driving it to work today, and this is how it is normally before I clean it, and you can get a pretty good idea of everything on there. Currently the skid plates are off of it because I gave it an oil change last month and I haven't really been going on any off-road trips, so we'll be able to look at the underside of the engine, and you'll be able to see everything, basically how it normally is kept. So this is the cab here. You can see I'm probably going to do a little bit of cleaning on there. Underneath this here stitched on cover, the steering wheel is still not really shredded. It needed a cover, but it's not like actually ripped. So if you're good at leather restoration, there's still leather there to restore if you want to, or just, you know, keep the grip on it or put a new one on. A little dirty still down there. There's no crap in here. This guy here, I usually keep a GPS right here, so this is just USB power for the GPS, and it snaps on and off. You can either remove this if you don't want to use it, or you can stick your own GPS or phone here. There's a dash cam that's leaving with the vehicle or staying with the vehicle. See, the back seats probably could use a wash, but it's intact. There aren't any rips or missing parts or anything like that. Everything works on it. Back here, got a fire extinguisher that's attached on there with a quick fist mount. You could stick a larger one on, obviously. All the tools are there, including the flashlight. This is the spare tire cover, which I'll be putting on. These guys here, these come on and off with wing nuts. So if you need to use them as tire tracks, you can. Otherwise, lays down level with the seats. So you can use this to carry long stuff, or the mattress, if you want to put a futon mattress in here and sleep. It's pretty comfortable. The spare matches, so you can rotate it down. I've been rotating them so they're all matched. It's got a little cup holder here. That's a little boat part, but it seems to work really well. Let's go look under the hood. So here's how it all goes on underneath here, and then we'll go underneath and we'll have a look at the oil or not oil, as the case would be. So as you can see under here, we've got a Fumoto valve. You can see that, you know, it's a little dirty, but there's no oil. No leaks. No leaks. No leaks. Zero leakage. You can see I'm running my hand along it here and I just got dust, but no oil. No leaks. No leaks. I've got new oxygen sensors because I had to pass smog recently, and that one over here, the far one, had failed. You can see I'm not using any anti-foulers or other dirty tricks. I just simply fixed the problem. There is one leak, and I'll show you that right here. There's one leak on the whole vehicle, and that's here. That's the transfer case. It's the input shaft seal on the transfer case. And that drips about 1 drop every 6 months or so. This here hasn't been washed since June. So that's the one leak on the vehicle. I consider that a non-issue, but if you want to fix it, the seal itself isn't terribly expensive. The effort, of course, is the labor of removing the transfer case and putting the seal in. The seal is like $7, but you're probably looking at a whole weekend to put it in if you want to do it. I just never saw it as a concern, so I didn't actually do anything with it. I mean, this is, you know, this is the amount where, like, you'll lose a thimble full of oil during the entire oil change interval for the transfer case. No other leaks. You can see we've got the Bilstein shocks, of course, on there. Those guys are exceptionally good. The rear locker, this is a 2000, which didn't come from the factory with the rear locker, but I added a factory rear locker from a 99, as well as the 490-to-1 diff gears to handle the 33-inch tires. So your speedometer is corrected, meaning that your speedo reads what it should. Your transmission shifts when it should shift. And you can get up the hills, you know, when you're leaving town, especially if you live here in Arizona. You have to, you know, you have to climb up to get to Flagstaff or whatever. You can just cruise up at the speed limit. There's no freaking out. While we're down here, you can see that there is just absolutely no rust at all. Rust doesn't happen here in Arizona, so there's just zero. You can see here, there's a little tiny bit of surface, I guess, rust, if you want to call it that, from that. You can see the skid plate not all smashed up. Now that you can see here that this is where this particular cross member took a little beat, but that's the only thing you'll see under here. There's not any other damage to the vehicle. You know, the muffler's not all trashed. I haven't been thrashing this thing. You can see that the rock sliders are welded on with gussets very well. There's no, there's no wonkiness there. These were done right by a professional welder. I didn't do it myself because I'm not that good. And we'll go back under here. Again, you can see there is no rust. The muffler, of course, or the exhaust pipe has a bit, as they're going to, but you can see the frame. None of this has any rust. Nothing at all. All this is the parts where, if you see a truck from the Northeast, all this stuff here is where the rust would be. None. Absolutely none. So you're not going to have any worries there.